Okay, I've gone in and cleaned up and deleted that step footing and reset all my walls here. This is the west side of the building. So if I go to the west elevation, you'll see I have a top of footing here, which is where the walls currently are down to. So they start at top of footing, and I have another top of footing at 1200 millimeters or 4 feet below that one. So this is going to be our low top of footing, and this is going to be the upper top of footing. So if I go to my 3D view, first thing I'm going to do is just grab these walls over here. Using my control button, I can select those walls, and I'm just going to set them to start at the lower level. So I'm going to go into the instance properties and say you guys are at the 0, 0 top of footing with an offset of 0. Hit OK, and then going up to the main floor. So I'm just going to drop those walls down. Okay, these walls are at the right level, and this is where we make our transition. So let's add some strip footings in. Let's just go to our Home tab, go to Foundation. I'm going to add Foundation Wall. I'm going to add a bearing footing, and I'm going to use a 36 by 12. No, I'm going to use a 36 by 10, and it's funny because I'm using metric units, but I started the project in imperial. So if you go in and check the properties of that actual footing, what is named a 36 by 10 is actually 914 by 254 millimeters. So I'm having some fun here using metric units. Started out with an imperial project, but that's okay. So it's basically a 10-inch by 36-inch footing. And I'm just going to use my tab button and select all these walls and then add that footing in. Okay, so there's a footing, first crack at the footing. Okay, and now what I want to do is start to create some reference planes to create that stepped footing. So let's just switch over to a couple of images that I've saved showing what we need to add in as far as reference planes go. So in elevation, I need to add in, I'm going to create 1, 2, 3, 4 reference planes that are going horizontally. I'm going to space them like this, and then vertically I'm going to add in 4 reference planes like this, spaced at 1000. Okay, and then I'm going to also have a reference plane in plan at the edge, this face of the existing footing. So I can switch back over here to my Revit, and we'll go to that west elevation. Now, in fact, I'm going to create a section rather than to do this from an elevation. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my 01 top of footing here, and I'm going to create a new section. I'm going to go View, and I'm going to create a section. And I'm going to create the section right in front of this footing. So right, there. Okay, because I don't want to use an elevation because that elevation is already being used for something. So I'm going to take that section that I've created, and I'm going to just change the back clipping plane. Okay, there it is there. And I'm going to pull this guy back, so I'm basically just creating a little isolated section which is sitting right in front of this footing. Okay, so I can double click, click, click. Now I'm at a section of that footing, and I can just turn my crop region off if I want. So now I'm going to add in those reference planes. So I'm going to start by going to my Home tab, and then I go in here and I say Reference Plane. Okay, we want to position it where we want the step to go, but I know that I want it to be somewhere over here. So I'm going to say, okay, well, I want 1 reference plane, 2, 3, 4. Okay, escape, escape. Now is the time to position these guys wherever you want those steps to take place. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'll let you figure that one out. Basically, position that where you want that bottom step to be. Okay, now I'm going to create some more reference planes. Up to reference plane. I'm going to create a reference plane right there along that level line. In fact, I'll use tab and select that guy, and I'm going to pull that out. Okay, I'm going to create another reference plane down here, somewhere right at the top of that footing. Okay, drag it out, escape, escape. And it gets, because of the, now where is that tab? Click on it. I need to pull that edge of that reference plane out. Tab, click and pull that guy out to there. Okay. Now I'll make 2 more reference planes somewhere around here and another one somewhere in the middle there. And because of my crop region, it's cutting those back a little bit. Okay. Pick on here and drag that out. And pick on here, drag that out. Okay, now I'm going to add in some dimensions. So I'm going to go to Annotate, and I'm going to do some align dimensions that go from here to here, and that's my 1200. And then I'm going to go from here to here to here to here, place it and make it equal. Boom. Click out, hit escape. And now these guys here, I'm going to make them 1000. So I'm going to go dimension from here to here to here to here, place it up there. Escape, escape. So I can grab this one and say you are 1 meter 1000. Okay, then I'm going to grab this reference plane, move it to the right, make it 1000. Then I'm going to grab this reference plane here and go in and change this same thing, 1000 millimeters. Okay, just over 3 feet. So once again, this is the time if I want to position these guys to go and nudge these guys into place, etc. Find out where I want them to go. Okay, maybe grab this guy, pull it out a little bit. Grab this guy, pull it out. Okay, so there's those reference planes. And now I'm going to create another reference plane. Back in my top of footing, I'm going to create another reference plane on my Home tab, reference plane, and it's going to be right at the face of this footing right here. So I'm going to create a reference plane that goes right along this face here. Okay, and that's going to be the positioning where I'm going to actually draw that profile. Okay, I can go back to that section that I drew. Okay, and now I'm going to draw another reference plane, yet another one, and it is going to go from here up to there. Escape, escape. And that's going to represent the bottom kind of part of the footing along there. In fact, that's not quite correct. I need to go reference plane here. Escape, escape. And this guy I can delete. I could have moved it, but let's do this again. Reference plane, the bottom is going along like in fact, no, I stand corrected. We'll put this reference plane here along the intersection of those tops. Okay, drag it out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy one. This is a 10-inch or 254 millimeter deep footing. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to say copy from here, going perpendicular, 254 millimeters, 10 inches. Hit escape, escape. Okay, so there's all my reference planes in place and ready to start to create the in-place step footing object.